What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Fiora Shen deck from the game Legends of Runeterra. It's Riot Games' first attempt at a CCG. It's been very exciting. We've had a lot of fun playing it in the first preview patch. That's ending today, actually, at the time of recording this. So without further ado, let's get in and take a look at this Fiora Shen barrier deck. Alright guys, we're going to quickly run down the cards that we have in this deck, how they synergize with each other, and how we can use these abilities and combinations to our advantage to win these games in Legends of Runeterra. So starting at the very top, we've got one Fleet Feather Tracker. It's a really nice early card you can use to trade with. Challenger ability obviously forces the opponent to block with whichever creature you choose, which is pretty helpful in protecting your Fiora later on in the game. Next, we've got three Green Glade Caretakers. This is a very, very powerful card in this deck and can serve as an additional win condition. The ally gets Barrier, the Green Glade Caretaker gets +2/+0, and that actually continues to stack throughout the game. So these can become very big. I've swung for 20 plus damage before with the Green Glade Caretaker, so very cool card there. One of Rush, it can be another nice way to protect your Fiora, your Shen later on in the game. You give an ally +1/+0, quick attack this round. Quick attack meaning it attacks first when it's on offense. Pretty helpful there. We got two Bright Shield Protectors, more barrier, more abilities to protect your creatures and synergize with everything else in this deck. Key Guardian, another barrier engine. Single combat. This one's been pretty nice. It actually enables your Fiora to kill units because people are not going to block your Fiora, right? But it has Challenger, so you're going to be able to draw units in. This is an additional way to pick up kills on your Fiora, being your ultimate win condition. Next, we've got Deny. This is just a great, powerful card run in several different decks. It stops a fast spell, slow spell, or skill, so you can. It's your counterplay. It's very, very effective. Now, the superstar of the deck, Fiora. So Fiora is a 3/3. And when she levels up when she kills two enemies. The leveled up version of Fiora, actually, when I've killed 4 enemies and survived, you win the game. This is a huge, huge win condition for us in this deck. We absolutely, that is your goal, is to use Fiora to kill 4 enemies and win the game very quickly without even having to damage the enemy nexus one time. It's a very powerful effect. So we basically use all of these different methods to protect her and make that happen. We also run 3 Laurent Protege. He is a card that synergizes well with Fiora, has Challenger, so you can protect that Fiora and really dictate what options your opponent has to block and put additional pressure. Prismatic Barrier, just another barrier engine for 3 mana. Shadow Assassin is just a nice card engine, and it's a nice deck. It's a nice deck accelerator, and it's also just a nice unit that can apply pressure or block those pesky elusive units herself. Twin Disciplines is another really strong card. It synergizes well with other things in the deck, giving that Fiora the beef it needs to possibly survive or put through the damage you need to win. Riposte, we have 3 of those in the deck as well. Very similar. You'll notice this constant theme with these cards is we're either buffing our creatures or giving them barrier, right? Now let's get to the Superstar version 2.0 in this deck, which is Shen. Let's take a closer look at him. So Shen is a support character, so that means when he attacks, the ally to the right of him gets a support buff. In this case, gives it barrier. When he's seen his ally gets barrier 4 times, he levels up to Shen, who gives support. Give my ally support. Give my supported ally barrier. That doesn't actually change, but when they get barrier, they get +3/+0, and that applies to any barrier effect. So as long as the leveled up Shen is on the board, any barrier effect creature will get +3/+0. So you can see how we're putting together these synergies with barrier to create massive pressure on the board. Shen's been a very fun card to play with, absolutely so far. And then we're getting down to the end of the deck here. I run a 1-of Radiant Guardian. When Radiant Guardian is summoned, grant me lifesteal and toughness if an ally die this round. It's just a very solid later game unit who can apply additional pressure and protection. Judgment is a very key card in this deck, so let's read the text carefully. A battling ally strikes all battling enemies, okay? And this is a fast speed spell, which means that it can be cast in combat sequences. So you get your Fiora out. Say your opponent has several blockers on the board, 4 blockers that she could potentially kill. You drop in this, and as long as it doesn't get countered, if your Fiora could potentially kill all those enemy units at once, and if she's killed 4, you win the game instantly. I've won several games with this deck using this exact combo. So this is a very critical card in the deck for sure. And lastly, we have Bright Steel Formation, a one-off, super late game heavy card. If you get to a point where you can drop this with at least 3 or 4 other units on the board, you're gonna be fine. So every time you play this card or attack with it, it gives all allies barrier. And with all the different barrier synergies we have going on, that's obviously just a very powerful effect. So with that being said, that is an overview of the deck, and I actually have a game for you. So without further ado, let's get right into that gameplay.
They would fall by my blade. Stay away from my pets. If only those suitors were as lovely as you. Strike quickly, strike en garde! Squish goes the spider.
If only Fiora could see me now.
She can. She's not impressed.
Of blood, glory! If only Fiora could see me now.
She can. She's not impressed.
I demand satisfaction. Aha! Run them through. Hardly fair. Oh, so be it.
Is this supposed to be a challenge? Your move. This will be quick. I have no equal.
Justice will be served!
Everything I've worked for.
Repose. Aha! Great.
The Order rewards its faithful.
Strength and grace, beauty in the play.
It's too late for you.
You will be scoured from this land!
Hardly fair.
gods protect their own.
My shield is yours.
I will play my part.
Who goes there?
Aha! Hardly fair.
Nature bless the followers.
I will end this here.
Falls.
Vine and wisp, steady my hand.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed that game. I've been having a ton of fun playing Legends of Runeterra so far. I'm very excited for the next preview patch coming up in November. To see our live streams of that next preview patch and check out any of the other games we stream, make sure you go follow me on Twitch and on Twitter. Links are in the description below. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more Legends of Runeterra and other gameplay content.